It is 4 p.m. We're in developing news.
And the stories behind the headlines. This is Storycon. I'm Regina Lay.
I'm Ed Lingao. The headline of this are the House Justice Committee voting on the 2 impeachment complaints against President Bongbong Marcos. Both are insufficient in substance. These are the complaints filed by lawyer Andre De Jesus and the Makabayan Bloc. Both groups accuse President Marcos of betrayal of public trust, although on different grounds that include unprogrammed appropriations in the national budget and corruption and flood control projects. Here's how the voting went earlier this afternoon at the lower chamber.
With a vote of 42 in favor of the motion, 1 against the motion, and 3 abstain, the chair therefore declares the impeachment complaint of De Jesus insufficient in substance. With vote in favor of the motion, 7, and those against the motion, 39, with 0 abstention. The chair declares the Masa et al. Impeachment complaint insufficient in substance. That concludes the voting on the sufficiency or insufficiency of substance of the 2 impeachment complaints. If we have no other matter to discuss, we are suspending the meeting until February 9, 2026, 10 o'clock in the morning. Members present are considered informed in today's hearing. Meeting is suspended.
And the other stories we're watching this Wednesday, February 4. Senate President Pro Tempore Ping Lacson confirms that the Blue Ribbon Committee recommended the filing of plunder and graft charges against 6 current and former lawmakers in the flood control scandal. Among those named were former Ako Bicol Party List Congressman Zaldico and Senators Jinggoy Estrada, Chis Escudero, and Joel Villanueva. The recommendation was included in the draft partial committee report of the BRC.
Meantime, House Majority Leader Sandro Marcos has filed a bill seeking to abolish travel tax. The presidential son said the levy burdens Filipino families, slows tourism growth, and no longer serves its purpose. Earlier, the Ilocos Norte representative also filed a measure seeking to implement a no-work, no-pay policy for Congress members. This would link salaries and allowances to verified attendance and participation in plenary sessions and committee hearings. Former President Rodrigo Duterte's legal team has once again challenged the International Criminal Court pretrial chamber's decision clearing him for trial. His team cited cognitive decline and procedural errors. The defense argued that proceeding with the confirmation of charges hearing while Duterte is unable to fully exercise his rights would contaminate the legal process. The former chief executive's lawyers Duterte's lawyers further claimed that the court ignored critical medical evidence and failed to assess his mental capacity. And Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas Governor Eli Remolona Jr. says the Philippines is facing a possible return to the Financial Action Task Force or FATF gray list. That is following investigations into the flood control scandal, which involved billions of pesos in funds lost to corruption. Remolona said being on the gray list means the country has deficiencies in combating money laundering and terrorism financing. He highlighted, however, that the next FATF review is not until 2027, giving the government time to address these issues.
To be honest, talagang may risk. May risk na mabalik tayo sa gray list. Although we're doing what we can to prevent that. And it's going to be a long process. So we have time to do what we need to do to show the FATF that we're doing everything we can. Medyo matagal yung process na yan. Siguro ang evaluation ng next evaluation natin 2027. So may time tayo na we have time to address all the issues.
by 2027, Gov, kaya ba natin ma-address yan?
Kaya naman. Kaya naman.
Thank you, Gov.
And of course, joining us today, our international man of maladies, or is it malice? Mr. Raul Llamas.
Hindi na, malis pa. No? Talagang fully agree yung katabi ko sa kanan.
Taas ang kilay tuloy. Oh.
Canon from the viewer's perspective.
Ano ba yung kanan ko?
Okay.
Uy, I just got back. Wala pa akong sinasabi.
Oo nga, hindi pa siya nag-warm up eh.
Inunahan ko na.
Nakaturo ka.
Mahirap yung maunahan ka ng
Talaga,
principal.
puro ka talaga mali siya.
Palo ka ng ruler sa kamay.
Wala akong ruler. I should bring a ruler. Oo nga, no? I should bring a ruler.
yung talagang mahaba. Yung talagang pag lumagat.
Yan.
Yung kahoy.
Oo, yung talagang
Hindi,
kahoy.
mas matindi yung plastic. Mas masakit yun.
Baka mabali yung plastic eh. Si Ami, wala
wala
pa.
pa si
So
Ami.
we'll bring her in a little bit.
Yeah.
Correct. And
That
today
starts
is a
today.
historic day.
Dami.
I don't know what's happening to both houses of Congress. Let's begin with the lower house, where, of course, the Justice Committee has voted to dismiss the first two impeachment complaints against President Bongbong Marcos on the basis of insufficiency of substance. So, ang voting for the first complaint that was filed by the lawyer Andre De Jesus was 42, 1, and 3 abstentions. And then the second complaint, the voting went 7, 39, and 0, meaning 7 approved it, 39 disapproved it.
Sino yung one?
Yung nag-no sa first complaint,
Sino?
I think it was it Congresswoman Rene Co? Hindi. Or I'm not sure. I saw the hands, but the camera didn't pan wide enough
Yun
to
yung
show.
interesting yung mga
Oo.
kontra. Tapos yung 7, dun sa Makabayan Block.
So number one, what this means is
Alam niyo yun eh, sino yung 7?
the two complaints are dead already in the water, and number two,
Nobody can
1 year bar
file.
na yan.
Correct. No one can file. I mean,
Against
people
the-
can file an impeachment complaint, but that's not going to progress anymore
Yes,
because now there's a 1-year ban
Yes.
on impeachments against the
For
president.
BBM.
So tama nga si Congressman Abante to begin with when he walked out.
Na-
I know you guys
I
spoke to him yesterday.
Diniin natin sa Fearless Forecast. Naka-4 yata tayong Fearless Forecast sa kanya. Buti hindi nagreklamo.
What happened there?
4 na Fearless Forecast.
What happened there?
Parang siya, natatawa na siya. No?
Natawa na siya. Bakit? Well, but what was his basis for saying to, nung maaga pa, shortly after they convened, na walang basis? That it was insufficient. What was his basis
It
for
was
saying that?
interesting kasi that these were assertions or allegations that were not backed up by illegal evidence. For example, the assertion it's kidnapping.
Oh, well,
of
that one's-
Duterte.
that one's always,
the one
drug
about
use.
drug use.
That was based on Senator Amy Marcos's claim.
Source. Is that enough already to file a complaint for impeachment? So, mga ganung bagay-bagay. As well, I think yung may
What was interesting to me, though, is, okay, yung alleged drug use, and the so-called kidnapping of Duterte, okay, fine. They were tenuous at best. Pero there was a allegation there that he approved the so-called BBM parametric formula, which is the congressional allocations on public works funds. Basically, the argument being that it was under your watch that all of this happened.
Most presidents approve unallocated.
But if,
Funds.
think about it, but if
Most, if not
Congressman
all.
Toby Tiangco was correct in saying that as early as November 2024, nagalit na siya kay Speaker Romualdez and former Congressman Zaldi Co. and told him off over corruption, then that makes him complicit, right? Interesting yung argument ni Congresswoman Bel Zamora. She said it wasn't President Marcos who drafted that policy, and having an imperfect policy direction is not an impeachable offense. I thought it was. Hindi ba?
well, it depends on how you define command responsibility. How far up does it go?
Everything ends with you.
Yeah, but yeah.
Pero yun nga yung presumption of regularity. Ibig sabihin, trabaho ng presidente to approve a budget, no?
Yes.
Et cetera. Like yung unallocated, most if not all presidents has unallocated funds.
But the budget also did balloon under him. And again, if the people around him are correct in saying that he was very unhappy with the 2024 and 2025 budget, it's just that he ran out of time to veto more items.
Yeah.
Again, there's
Pero usually kasi sa
culpability there.
impeachment, hindi lang culpability eh. Kailangan merong
Evidence.
smoking gun eh. No, halimbawa, 120 million ginastos mo in 11 days. That's very specific. Or COA...
notice of disallowance.
yes. So, may mga ganun ba? Pero kung
Not to
command
mention-
responsibility, parang para sa iba, parang it's not enough. It's not a smoking gun.
Legally, it's hard to prove.
Linking him to corruption.
Oh.
Parang ililink mo na corrupt ka, tumanggap ka eh. Diba? Iba yung tumanggap ka, iba yung command responsibility. You can be inefficient. You can be incompetent. You can be a weak leader.
But can we
Diba?
impeach people for being
Kaya nga,
incompetent?
yun ang sinasabi ko.
That's what I'm saying.
That's culpability.
Oo.
That's command responsibility. Diba? Although, kung ako yung presidente, mas gusto ko nang ma-link sa specific
corruption kasi
kaso.
incompetence.
Kaysa tawagin ako ng principal na incompetent. Di ba?
I'm not calling anyone incompetent, but I mean, surely the law provides an avenue for impeaching officials that no longer are capable, di ba? I don't know. In an ideal world.
Not to mention, yung congressman na approve ng budget eh.
Yeah.
Di ba? Sa kanila dumaan.
Sa bagay.
Sila yung
Sila din
power
din-
the purse. Sila yung, di ba? Sila yung bumalangkas ng lahat-lahat. At ang pumirma lang yung Pangulo. Given what? 1 week to review everything.
Exactly. 1 week, including weekends, ah.
Parang yung
That's not
kanya
working
parang
days.
yung DAP na kaso ni Butchabad tsaka ni Pinoy. Na ang sabi ng Supreme Court, tigil na yan, pero may presumption of regularity. Ginawa mo yan as president. No, wala ka diyang pakinabang. Parang gano'n eh. No? Yun ang kasi yung kailangan mong patunayan. Eh. Na nakinabang ka. Di ba?
That's true. And yeah, so that's it for the
Pero-
impeachment against President Marcos. And
Pero mas gusto ko pa rin malink doon kaysa matawag na incompetent.
talaga, because you have meron kang dignity.
Oo nga.
Kahit pa paano.
Ikulong niyo na ako. Huwag niyo na ako tawag incompetent.
Mas masakit yung matawag na incompetent.
Di ba? Pag nalakad ka sa kalsada, may tatak sa ulo. Incompetent. Di ba?
Hindi, ganun no.
Tapos yung mga dumadaan tao, tawag niya, loser.
But some people don't care about that. Diba?
Yeah, of
Oh,
course.
teka, yung isang malaking story, yung hindi natuloy.
Okay, yung kabilang...
Ano yung hindi natuloy? Hindi nga natuloy. Tapos gagawin yung istorya, hindi nga natuloy.
upper house naman tayo. Upper chamber. I'm talking about the Senate.
10 years
Napaka-stable
old.
talaga ng ating mga institutions, di ba?
Oo nga. Kung hindi Supreme Court, lower house.
Diba?
Upper chamber.
Or Malacanang.
Ikaw nagsabi ng Malacanang.
So the 10 years hold of Tito Soto, well,
Na alam naman natin,
he is holding on pa rin.
dati pa lang 10 years, di ba? Well, parang ang pangit kasi na magbabago yung leadership over the Blue Ribbon Report about corrupt senators involved dito sa flood control scandal. Parang gawa naman kayo ng ibang dahilan para magbago ng leadership. Huwag naman yung Blue Ribbon Report, di ba? So, yun yung isa eh. Napaka-glaring naman. Magbabago kayo ng leadership dahil mga fellow senators nyo na link sa corruption, di ba? Sabagay, meron bang senador na corrupt?
I don't know.
Pero yung 15 dati ng majority, mukhang magiging 5. Ang laki ng dami ng tumalon.
Well, lahat yan ay rumors.
Rumors.
Ang problema sa Pilipinas, minsan, yung rumors ay mas totoo.
But I think what a lot of people find surprising is, ganun kadali lang yun? I mean,
Basta-
iba kasi yung lumipat ang 2 o 3, kaya yung 15 naging lumipat ang 4, di ba? Ang 15 naging 11. So, konti lang yung gumalaw dahil may mga nakanti siguro, pero yung 10.
Ha?
Oh.
Say it.
Medyo baba mo ng konti yung standard.
Say, sabihin mo na.
Balik sa kuweba. Balik sa kuweba.
Kahit malayo sa Reg, malaki influence sa akin, Reg.
Balik sa kuweba.
But to recap, for those who don't know, there were rumors of another Senate leadership coup.
Rumors?
Allegedly, well, actually, this part, Senate President Tito Soto already confirmed that si Senator Loren Legarda daw was approached to become the new
This was
SP.
yesterday.
This was yesterday.
And then Legarda told him she is not interested. Yesterday.
That she was not interested. And
She
then
would
hinabol siya ng mga reporters up all the way to her room in the Senate, and she was very coy. At least to me, it was a little bit coy kasi she was asked, may nakakausap po ba kayo? And she answers, marami naman ako nakakausap every day. Ganon. So we never got an answer about that. Pero late that
She would have been the first woman.
Senate
President.
President. Oo nga, no? But late yesterday afternoon, there was a leak of an alleged draft report that the Blue Ribbon Committee was supposed to submit to file to the plenary and discuss in the plenary. Kaya lang, after this leak, it was immediately, or not immediately, but shortly after, withdrawn by the Senate, kaagad-agad. But we saw it already. We saw the draft. And that draft had the names of at least 6 legislators that
Including the
are
former Senate President.
including the former Senate President Chisa Escudero, that are being recommended for criminal charges, including
Which is not surprising.
plunder. Oo.
Dahil lumabas yung mga
Lumabas na
pangalan
sila,
nila.
exactly. To me, nung
Sa
nakita
mga
ko yon,
testimonies.
these are all the names that already
Yes.
came up repeatedly during the Blue Ribbon Committee hearings. Kaya lang, seems to be what threw a, what's the expression? Threw a wrench into everybody's, into the dynamics of the Senate. Kasi may mga against it, against the publicizing of that document, I guess. And then there are others like Senator Ping Lacson that are...
Because it's a public recommendation.
It's a public recommendation. Pero gusto yata ng iba na pag-usapan muna behind the scenes before you publicize it to the media.
Ang gusto ng iba, imasahe. Iba yung kasi yung pag-uusapan.
Okay.
Bakit yung pag-uusapan? Para imasahe. Or perhaps even baguhin.
But how can you change it? Kasi ito na yung names nga na nag-appear sa Blue Ribbon
Balik.
Hindi. In all honesty, let's say 5 lang yung names. Let's say may natanggal na isa doon. People will wonder, like, where's so-and-so? Right? He was also named in the Blue Ribbon Committee
Do
hearings.
you think they care? What people think?
Okay po. Yeah. So one issue is yung Blue Ribbon Committee report. What about the other possible elements? I say possible kasi I don't know if they really are elements here o baka naman catalyst lang yung Blue Ribbon Committee report. For example, the Villards. They're rumored to have also switched sides. Could that be in any way
Because they're part of the report.
but hindi lang yun eh. Could it also be in any way connected to yung nangyari ng weekend?
Well, they're under attack from different vantage points, different angles. So, ang feeling nila ay this government is out to get us in varying degrees. So.
The other one being
Pero at the same time, if they think that they're being under attack, then the more they will negotiate.
the more there's there's more
So,
And of course, by that...
more pressure for them to
Yes.
try to
But
ease up.
is it true, though, that they're under attack? Or these are just the...
the imagination lang nila.
Talaga? No, because...
Lahat pati valuation.
Hindi.
pati mga
Kasi yung valuation
cases,
that was
diba?
not... It started with them. Totoong, I remember this when it became an issue last year. People really were surprised that there was a company claiming $1.3 trillion in assets. Pesos in assets. Nung valuation ng Villar land. Masyado malaki. I mean, that means you're bigger than SM.
Yeah.
Even SM is not a trillion peso
Baka
company.
It could be a
Right? So
sign of,
maraming tumaas yung kilay
could
when
be a
they
sign of
announced that.
desperation. Dahil siyempre, pag ganun ang kanilang ganun ang kanilang projection, at walang magke-question, then reality is perception. Diba? So, baka yung mga nagpaplanong investors na umalis sa kanila ay mag-hesitate. No? So, maraming angulo yan.
The other element I wanted to ask about is yung anak ni Loren, of course being fined 24 billion for failure to deliver.
That's
in-
another
in
another aspect
Oho.
of the dynamics. Diba? Dahil hindi naman makakasuhan yung kanyang anak lang. Madadawit yung nanay dahil yung atake kasi sa anak ay nakuha niya itong mga franchise na
Because
ito
of,
because of the mother.
Because
Diba? At kung ikaw ay Senate President, posibleng ma-mitigate mo yung ganong klaseng attacks.
or you could be even more exposed. That's the other way to look at it, right? Because it's already out in the open, itong issue with Solar Philippines, right? Tapos
Yes.
ngayon ka pa mag-SP, you're even more vulnerable.
Pero dalawa yan Una, yung popular perception. Ikalawa, yung decision makers. Iba kasi yung decision makers. Iba yung pinanggagalingan nila. Kung ikaw ay Senate President, the decision makers might hesitate. Diba? Iba yung popular opinion. Ang tingin nila, yung popular opinion can blow over. May expiry date yan No? After a while, makakalimutan na yan.
Another issue will blow up,
Yes.
makakalimutan ng mga tao.
Pero yung decision makers, ito yung tutugi sa'yo Ito yung magsasampa sa'yo ng kaso. Ito yung mangungulekta ng 24 billion pesos, etc. So, kung ikaw ay Senate President, medyo mag-hesitate yung iba.
Bok, let's bring in one of our modules who is in Congress. We have mobile journalist Amy Atienza. Amy, what do you have for us?
Yes, natapos na nga yung botohan dito mismo sa House Justice Committee kung insufficient in substance nga ba yung dalawang impeachment complaint laban kay Pangulong Bongbong Marcos. Kanina narinig natin yung manifestations ng ilang mga mababatas pero meron pa rin naman tayong narinig na tatlo yung nagsasabing sufficient in substance ito. Kabilang nga dyan si Congressman Egay Erice, Congresswoman Laila De Lima, pati na rin si Congressman Chel Jokno. Kanina, after nung mismong preliminaries nitong botohan, narinig din natin yung pahayag at yung opinion ng Makabayan Bloc Representatives pagdating sa naging desisyon ng House Justice Committee tungkol nga doon sa impeachment complaints. At nasabi nila na parang malinaw daw na gusto nang patayin ng komite yung mismong impeachment complaint laban kay Pangulong Bongbong Marcos. At kanina nakita rin natin dito yung isa sa mga complainant, si former Representative Liza Maza, kung saan sinasabi niya na tinigil nito yung call for transparency and accountability. So tuloy-tuloy daw na magkakaroon sila ng panawagan at mas mag-iingay pa nga raw sila sa lansangan dahil sinasabi na by February 25 ay meron ulit silang protesta na mangyayari dahil nga sa naging desisyon and syempre dahil na nga rin sa panawagan nila for transparency and accountability dito sa Kamara.
Amy, sino yung negative vote do sa unang impeachment? At sino yung 7 na dun sa ikalawang impeachment?
Wala akong marinig.
Doon sa first impeachment complaint, wait lang, check natin yung mismong votation na nangyari. Doon sa first impeachment complaint, may 42 na in favor. So halos lahat talaga kasama dyan sila Representative De Lima sa 42 in favor na insufficient in substance. Yun yung naging motion. Yung isang against was Representative Jet Nisay kung saan nga siya mismo yung endorser nitong first impeachment complaint ni Attorney Andre De Jesus. At yung tatlong abstain naman dyan ay yung mga Makabayan Bloc Representatives. Doon naman sa second impeachment complaint, meron siyang, ang naging motion sa second impeachment complaint ay kung sufficient naman in substance itong Maza et al. Complaint at 7 ang in favor dyan. Kabilang nga dyan sa 7 ay si Representative De Lima, Representative Jokno, Representative Erice, yung tatlong Makabayan Bloc Representatives, pati na rin si Representative Nisay na silang apat yung endorsers ng mga impeachment complaint na pinag-usapan nga dito sa House Justice Committee. So, bukod sa kanila, syempre may 39 na against at wala namang nag-abstain doon sa second impeachment complaint for its sufficiency in substance.
Bok, let me just bring in Ami Pamintuan from the Philippine Star. She now joins us all the way from Parañaque. Ami.
Hi. Sorry.
It's okay.
Bisita namin yung ambassador of China.
Okay.
Dito pa siya.
Hi.
Sorry Good afternoon,
Please
everybody.
give my regards.
Oo nga. Pati yung kaaway mo nandito, si Wolf and the Hyena nandito.
Si Amy is reporting from Congress.
Yes.
Katatapos,
Oo nga
dun sa ending ng Justice Committee hearing on the impeachment complaints.
So yung
Oh, di tamang-tama nga yung yung sinabi sa atin kahapon ni Congressman Abante, no?
Fearless forecast.
Fearless forecast
So
talaga.
the lone person who voted no for the first impeachment complaint was si
Nisay,
Jet
the endorser.
Nisay, Congressman Jet Nisay, hindi si Congresswoman Rene Co. To clarify.
Pero hindi naman siya unexpected, Ronald? Yung kay BBM naman hindi siya completely a surprise.
Yes.
Di ba?
Actually, nung humingi tayo ng fearless forecast kay Congressman Abante, medyo alam na rin naman natin kung anong sagot.
Alam mo na yung sagot. Oo.
Because
Hindi, lalo na dun sa first, no? The first complaint, lalo na yon.
the first
Yung
one,
sa
yes.
kinik-
The first one kasi brought in issues like the arrest of former President Duterte. Pero yung second, initially, before, sabi, mas may substance daw. So I'm also a little bit surprised.
Akala ko nga 8 yung boboto 7.
Sino yung Pangulo?
Boboto. Hindi bumoto dahil endorser siya dun sa impeachment ni Vice President Sara Duterte.
Amy, you said may mga magbabalak na mag-protesta pa rin, no? Kailan? February 20?
February 25,
25.
which is
What did
mangyayari
they-
naman sa
EDSA
EDSA.
yun That's an EDSA celebration.
What are they asking for? Because this is, I presume, final. Anong gusto nila mangyari?
Niluto.
Well, so far gusto nilang iparinig yung boses nga nung kanilang mga nire-represent na party lists katulad ng ng ACT Teachers, Gabriela Women's Party, pati na rin ang mga kabataan pagdating nga dito sa pagtawag nila sa transparency and accountability. At hindi lang naman tungkol dito sa impeachment ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos dahil kung maalala din natin noong Lunes naman ay nag-file din at nag-endorse itong Makabayan Bloc Representatives ng impeachment complaint naman laban kay VP Sara ulit. So, yun talaga yung gusto nila panawagan. Kailangan may maging reforma din sa ating government system dahil nga dito sa mga corruption scandals na nangyayari at naaakusa yung ating 2 highest ranking officials.
Pero yung 25 kasi matagal na nilang planong mobilization yan. Dahil that's the
Tagal na, last year
40th
pa yan.
anniversary of EDSA. Ang rally nila ay sa People Power Monument ng 10 a.m. sa 25th ng February.
Amy, so
Yes,
yung...
pero-
Inoculated na, no? Hindi na pwedeng filean uli si
Tindahan,
President
sarado na.
Marcos.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, bawal na muna ulit mag-file ng impeachment complaint laban kay Pangulong Bongbong Marcos. Ang iniintay na lang natin dito mismo sa Kamara ay yung pagpapasa naman ng committee report nitong House Justice Committee sa nangyari ngang deliberations and determination sa sufficiency in form and substance. So, mangyayari daw na sa February 9, may hearing ulit itong Justice Committee para nga daw sa preparasyon ng committee report na ipapasa nila sa plenary by next week.
Okay. Well, we know that wala pa sa Justice Committee, of course, yung complaint naman against VP Sara. Pero may balita ka na ba kung anong binabalak whether ng SecGen or ng Speaker's Office dun sa dalawang naihain ng impeachment complaints versus VP Sara the other day?
Well, after kasi na ma-file nga itong dalawang impeachment complaint laban kay Vice President Sara Duterte, ang hinintay naman natin ay kung i-refer na ba ng Office of the Secretary General kay Speaker yung mismong mga impeachment complaint. Kailangan pa daw kasi itong i-verify at i-authenticate ng SecGen ng Kamara bago nga maipasa kay Speaker Bogie D. At pag naipasa na kay Speaker Bogie D, doon magsisimula yung bilang ng 10 session days para mailagay nga sa order of business itong kay VP Sara. Pero moving forward, wala pa rin tayong naririnig talaga kung nai-refer na ba ng Office of the Secretary General kay Speaker yung mga impeachment complaint na na-file. Pero nang narinig din natin yung mga naging pahayag ng mga endorser pati ng mga kongresista na kasama nga dun sa pagpa-file, wala naman daw masyadong bago. Ang idinagdag lang nila yung testimony ni Ramil Madriaga na allegedly nga ay former aide and bagman ni VP Sara doon sa kanilang impeachment complaint.
Pero wala ka naman narinig na may magsasampa o nagbabalak mag-endorse ng pangatlo o pang-apat na impeachment complaint against VP Sara? Or wala bang niluluto, for example, ang mga congressmen na sila mismo will take the second route, which is yung collect 1/3 of the signatures of members of Congress.
Yung
Parang
fast
ginawa nila
track.
the last time.
Buk, nung nakaraang araw, narinig natin parang possible daw na may third impeachment complaint at iniisip talaga namin dito baka sila former Senator Trillanes na yung mag-file. Pero nung tinanong din natin siya via text, no, ay kung magpa-file siya the next day, ay sabi niya naman, kasama na raw yung complaint nila dun sa na-endorse ni Akbayan Party List Representative Percy Sendanya at ML Party List Representative Laila De Lima na impeachment complaint. So yun yung second impeachment complaint na natanggap ng Kamara this year against VP Sara. Yung sa votation, medyo wala pa tayong naririnig dahil nga naging maingay din ngayon dito sa Kamara yung usapin naman ng Ethics Committee pagdating kay Representative Kiko Barzaga at nakita na nga siya ngayon sa plenary session. So abangan natin kung ano nga ba yung magiging desisyon ng Ethics Committee pagdating kay Representative Barzaga naman yung kung extension daw ba ng suspension or expulsion yung ibibigay kay Representative Barzaga.
So he's back to work today. Today mismo. Okay.
Ayan na siya.
Kahapon, nagkaroon ng ethics committee hearing. Medyo closed committee hearing kasi siya, lalo na pag-ethics. So ngayon sa plenary, doon nila ilalabas yung naging usapin, yung napag-usapan nila doon sa naging hearing na nangyari kahapon.
So, kailangan
Amy,
natin imbitahin
napag-usapan
ulit si
na ba yun,
Abante. Para sa bagong fearless forecast. Ami, imbitahin ulit natin si Abante.
Hindi ba tinanong na natin si di ba si Congressman Abante? Medyo yung kay BP walang gustong mag-fearless forecast Hindi ba? Hindi, pero Amy, meron na bang na-finalize na new rules sa impeachment? Apart from yung requirement nga ng Supreme Court, meron na ba silang nag-firm up na balak nilang gawin para kay VP Sara na impeachment?
Wala pa tayong naririnig no pagdating naman dyan sa new rules no na ilalapag nila para nga dito sa impeachment ni VP Sara. Narinig natin yung sa Supreme Court nga and technically kung may ilagay nga sa order of business din itong mga impeachment complaint laban kay VP Sara, magiging same din yung magiging process no pag-uusapan kung sufficient in form and sufficient in substance yung mga impeachment complaint kasama nga ang House Justice Committee pati yung mga ex officio din na pwedeng bumoto nga sa sufficiency at sa preliminaries na gagawin bago magsimula yung actual hearings ng impeachment laban kay VP Sara.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, we'll let you go.
Okay, maraming salamat. Amy Atienza reporting to us live from the House of Representatives.
Thank you, Amy.
Kala ko hingi mong fearless forecast yung kay Barzaga yung pala,
Mas mabilis naman.
yung pala yung isa palang...
Oh, you mean on his libel case?
No, sa
Whether-
ganung ethics committee.
He
the
will be
decision.
suspended
Nasuspend na
or
nga, di ba?
expelled.
No, for the second time. That's
The
the question now. Whether they will...
get expelled.
Pero Ronald, pwede namang hulaan din yung kay VP kasi yung isa dyan refiled nung nakaraan naman na pag-usapan na nila yung form and substance niyan, di ba?
Wait.
Pumasa
Mukhang
na
papasayan sa
At
Justice
saka ang
Committee.
lakas, ang taas-taas ng vote noon mababa lang naman yung requirement for
That was 200
O,
something.
yung nakaraan ang taas nung
Was it
kahit
215
mabawasan ngayon
215, correct.
kahit yung 67 di ba na sinasabi nilang contractor at this point umalis hindi naman lahat yung 67 na anti-Sara pero kahit mabawasan yon they will still have the 103 ba yun?
108,
Ilan ba
I
ngayon
think.
sila?
For 1/3.
Oh.
At saka yung nakalista naman na
Ilan ba ngayon?
yung mukhang kakasuhan naman na congressman na madalian, mga 10 pa lang
Oo nga.
Tsaka na
Kaya
yung,
nga,
tsaka
pwede
na yung
pang
57.
kausapin, di ba? Pwede pa
Although-
siyang actually.
Although nakausap natin we were able to interview si Congressman Tino last week. Was it last week or a few days ago lang? And he said, they are already talking to people who are getting ready to file by tomorrow. Tomorrow's
Yeah.
already February 6th. And of course,
Yeah.
he and his group will endorse it. This is Makabayan. So mukhang, they've already made preparations for it. So he said, we
Yeah.
can expect na talaga may mag-file talaga.
Hindi, may nag-file na eh.
Nag-file na
earlier,
sila eh.
di ba? May nag-file na kasi nga binago nila yung computation ng
The other
ano.
day. Yeah.
Ayaw nga pala,
No,
because
dalawa na.
it should have
Days.
expired in January, correct? Oo.
Dalawa na yun nag-file, magkasunod.
At saka nakipag-unahan sila dahil baka daw sila maunahan ng isang weak complaint that will effectively inoculate the VP
That's
from
true.
another complaint
Oo.
for 1 year.
That will trigger the 1-year bar again.
Nalimutan nila si Oliver Lozano mauna.
Okay, from
Ikaw
the
talaga.
from the lower house, let's move on to the Senate, to the upper chamber
Senate.
now. We have with us mobile journalist Mary Mon Reyes reporting to us live from the Senate. Mary Mon, what's going on in the Senate?
Parang boring day dyan boring day.
Anong boring? May chismis na rumor na naman ako.
He's being sarcastic.
Ito si Ami. Ito si Ami, di ba?
Naku, sana nga boring. Pero ngayon kasi dito, yung plenary session currently suspended pa. At so far, kanina kasi nagkaroon ng photo opportunity kasama ang Philippine Sports Commission at saka ang ilang mga atleta. Pero ngayon, tapos na yung photo op at so far waiting pa tayo sa pagbalik ng plenary session kung saan isasalang ulit yung Senate Resolution number 256. Ito yung Senate Resolution expressing the sense of the Senate na kumukondena sa pambabatikos ng Chinese Embassy sa mga opisyal ng gobyerno. May privilege speech din tayong inaasahan from Senator Tito Soto mamaya. Pero so far sa araw na ito, bukod dyan, nagkaroon din ng pagtatalakay kaninang umaga yung Senate Committee on Electoral Reforms tungkol naman sa anti-political dynasty bill.
Pero
Nahanap na ba, Mary Mon, ni Senator Marcoleta yung coordinates ng West Philippine Sea?
Nako, Ronald, yan yung aabangan natin ngayon ulit sa magiging interpellation. Kasi kahapon, even though nilatag ulit ni Senator Kiko Pangilinan yung nagpakilala ng Senate Resolution, yung arbitral ruling, yung iba pang mga nagpapatunay na yung kini-question na sakop at lawak ng West Philippine Sea ay tunay talagang awarded sa Pilipinas, mukhang hindi pa kumbinsido dito si Senator Marcoleta. Kaya ang sabi naman dito ni Majority Floor Leader Senator Mig Zubiri, hopefully today kapag ka natapos na yung question, yung interpellation proper, sana lang magkaroon na ng botohan at umaasa si Senator Migs na mai-adopt daw itong Senate Resolution kasi hindi na raw biro yung nangyayaring pambabatikos from the Chinese Embassy.
Pero may naman, pag nag-resume ang session mamaya, fearless forecast mo, sinong uupo dun sa harapan?
Oo nga eh.
Yun
Baka mahirap
talaga, yun
pa
talaga ang gusto
magsabi,
namin
pero-
malaman, Mary Mon.
Oo. Bagamat paikot-ikot tayo, pero sa uli, dun tayo babagsak sa Senate President's chair.
Pero pwede rin kasi i-suspend ng tuloy-tuloy.
Oo, pwede rin gano'n, di ba?
Para
Tomorrow.
more time para pag-usapan.
Negotiate.
Usapan.
Oo, yung...
Hindi, meron na daw numbers yung minority eh. Mary Mon, anong bilang mo? They have
Nasa
the numbers
17
now.
Ami yung nakuha nating numero. Pero so far kasi ngayon, ang nakita nating naiwan doon sa session hall, sina Senator Alan Peter Cayetano, Senator Aimee Marcos, Senator Robin Padilla. The majority in general, wala sila sa plenary hall at mukhang nag-uusap sila. Hindi lang natin alam kung dito sa lounge o sa opisina doon sa likuran ng session hall. Yan kasi yung merong naturang or merong niluluto rather na kudeta na nais palitan yung liderato ni SP Tito Soto. Pero ang huli kasing nasabi dito ni SP kahapon, ang nakwento raw na pag-usapan daw nila ni Senator Loren Legarda, inoffer daw sa kanya ang Senate leadership pero hindi raw siya interesado. Nang sinubukan naman tanungin ng media si Senator Loren nung nakasalubong doon sa may opisina, sabi niya pag-iisipan niya raw yung tanong kasi nababasa niya na nga raw yung mga bali-balita. Pero ang sabi naman kanina ni Senator Erwin Tulfo na panandalian nakausap din ng media, wala raw siyang alam, baka raw kung may usap-usapan from the minority daw yon. At ang alam niya, yung naging meeting kanina ay tungkol doon sa Blue Ribbon Committee report na umikot at ang sinasabi nila SP Soto nalik kagabi.
Mary Mon, wait. To be very clear, yung 17 ay para kanino? So
Kay Senator Loren
Okay,
Legarda,
just so we're very
ang yun
clear.
ang lumalabas.
Mary Mon, mukhang 19 yun eh.
Yung huli kasi natin nakita, 17 yung
119.5.
bilang. But then again, hindi pa rin ito verified nor confirmed until magkakaroon talaga ng formalization sa plenary session.
Pero yung sinabi mo na hindi interesado si Lauren according to her, that was yesterday's interview, di ba? I'm
Kahapon,
wondering
kay
if
SP
you've been
Soto,
able to see her today.
Kung 19.5, interesado ka na.
Nandito nakita natin kanina nung nagsimula yung session, nagkakausap sina Senator Lauren Legarta at saka sina Senator Alan, nagkukumpul-kumpul lang sila doon, pero nung nag-start naman na yung pinaka-session, pumasok na ulit sila sa kanilang mga upuan. So hanggang ngayon, waiting game tayo unless magkakaroon na ng pag-aanunsyo sa floor.
Pero
Pero
meron
ano
hindi
yung
ba
trigger, Marymon? Ano yung trigger? Ano yung trigger? Kasi lagi namang may chismis dyan na papalitan yung Senate.
Blue
Ngayon, ano yung
ribbon.
trigger at this point?
Blue Ribbon Report?
Yan ang natanong natin kay Senator Ping. Kasi doon sa umikot na Blue Ribbon Committee report, though draft siya, pero umuo si Senator Ping na yun. At kinonfirm niya rin kasi na may nakalagay kasi doon na mga pakakasuhan. So may mga kongresista, may mga former senators, si former Senator Bong Revilla nandoon sa recommended charges for direct bribery, plunder, and malversation of public funds. Doon umiikot yung mga recommended charges. Kasama din si Senator Joel Villanueva, kasama rin dyan si Senator Chis Escudero. So natanong ng media kung pagkakunwari ba hindi nagustuhan or hindi natuwa yung mga senador doon sa nilalaman na pakakasuhan sa committee report, mauuwi ba to sa pagpapalit ng liderato? Kumbaga magkakaroon ng kudeta. Sabi dito ni Senator Ping, kung mangyari daw yun at it will cost yung leadership ni SP Soto, part na raw yun ng game. Pero kung dahil daw sa mere committee report, umayaw daw itong mga senador na nag-take part naman daw sa mga pagdinig, he will be taking accountability somehow. Pero hindi naman daw nila napag-usapan ni SP Soto yung possible kudeta. Ang pinag-usapan lang daw nila yung issue na nilalaman lang nung committee report.
Wala nag-uusap tungkol sa kudeta. Wala yon.
And at the opening of today's plenary, Marymon, there were only, 6 or 7 of them present, right? Do you know where the others are?
Marami sila nung sa pagsisimula lang mukhang naging late lang yung iba, pero nakita natin sina Senator Camille, nandoon sila, Senator Lauren Legarda, sina Senator Risa, Ping, Bam, kompleto sila doon sa may harapan, sila Senator Amy, sila Senator Joel. At ngayon lang natin sila nakitang bungi kasi ang naiwan nga lang doon sa session floor, sila Senator Alan, Senator Amy, Senator Robin Padilla.
Marymon, meron ka bang na-notice na umalis ng Senado?
Ronald, paano
talaga,
umalis?
hindi
As in,
physically left the Senate at may mga kinausap.
hindi natin yan napansin. Pero
Baka lang.
far sa
Bakit?
nakita natin, karamihan sa
Anong
mga
mo?
senador,
Anong wala? Anong ano mo?
Wala. Baka lang kasi
Pero-
lumabas. No?
Pero Marymon, anong mangyayari dyan sa Senate Blue Ribbon Report kung ganyang nilabas na nga ni Ping, in-announce na niya yung mga tao, tapos biglang nagkaroon ng change of leadership. Anong kahihinatnan yung report na yan? Dahil tapos na yung investigation.
Basurahan.
Ami, ang sabi ni Senator Ping tungkol dyan, kailangan din muna kasing makapag-kolekta ng 11 signatures para rin rumolyo to. Kaya nga, since ang gusto ng ilang mga panel members daw, i-discuss pa yung nilalaman ng committee report at ayon daw sa committee procedures, kailangan daw yun munang gawin. Kaya ang naging bilang na Senator Ping kahapon, dapat 7 na yung pumirma doon sa committee report. Pero may 3 nag-withdraw ng signatures nila, sina Senator Sherwin, Senator JV, Senator Migs, at ang paliwanag ng 3, kailangan pa raw nila ng panahon or ng oras para aralin pa yung nilalaman ng committee report. So naiwan, 4 na lang yung pumirma doon, si Senator Ping, Senator Risa, Senator Bam, Senator Kiko. So kailangan sa mga susunod na araw kung sakali makumpleto muna itong 11 signatures, i-root daw ulit ito, pero kung merong gustong baguhin, titingnan ulit, aayusin ulit yung laman ng committee report. And then ang nasabi pa, kung meron daw gustong tanggalin yung pangalan ng mga senador na kakasuhan na nakalagay na doon sa committee report, ang sabi dito ni Senator Ping, kung magkakaroon daw ng takers, ipapasponsor niya raw yung motion na yon. Pero kung sakali magkaroon ng change of leadership, posibleng maapektuhan din, syempre, kung sino yung manunungkulan sa mga major committees, including yung Blue Ribbon Committee. So, unless Senator Ping yung mareretain, so posible kung yung direksyon ni Senator Ping as is pa rin, hindi siya magbabago, pero kung sakali magkaroon ng changes sa committee chairmanship dahil nagkaroon ng changes sa Senate leadership, since hindi pa kumpleto rin yung 11 signatures, hindi pa talaga lumalabas yung official committee report, pwedeng magkaroon ng changes sa direksyon din ng mga major committee.
Wait, Merimon, can I just
Pero
clarify?
pwede siyang di ba? Pwede siyang mag-submit sa ombudsman ng report of the committee chairman. Di ba?
Yan ang
Senator Amy.
Yan ang sinabi ni
unless
Senator
mapalitan
Erwin
siya.
na baka pwede raw gawin.
Oo.
Unless mapalitan siya as Blue Ribbon,
In which case, he's no longer
kung
the chair.
mapalitan yung Senate President.
Merimon, can I just clarify something you said? Did you say that si Senator Ping was open to the idea that some names may be struck off that list of yung draft report?
Ang sabi kasi ni Senator Ping, ipapasponsor niya raw. So hindi niya sinabing oo, okay sa kanya, hindi okay sa kanya. Pero lahat daw pag-uusapan at kailangan pag-usapan muna. Lalo na pag kunwari, ikot din daw sa minority yung laman ng committee report plus yung kinakailangan niya nga rin na signatures. So lahat yun kailangan daw nilang isa-isain ulit. Especially may mga miyembro daw ng panel na gusto pa raw pag-usapan yung contents ng committee report. Kaya ang sabi dito ni Senator Ping, wag daw munang gamitin yung na-circulate na committee report kasi hindi pa raw yun official. So pwede na rin lang i-disclaim na yung mga nireport daw o yung mga nilabas, hindi raw yung totoo kasi hindi naman daw yun yung official version ng committee report. Ang huling nasabi rin ni Senator Ping, either today or tomorrow lalabas yung partial na official version ng committee report.
Pero from...
Ito kasi mga media, labas ng labas hindi naman official Yung Philippine Star ba, labas
Alam mo, to be talagang we got into a lot of
Hindi ba
trouble for
mahirap
that, ha?
Mahirap na yung ibawiin, di ba, Merimon? Lumabas na sa mga media Buong araw pinag-uusapan na ng lahat
Hindi lang
Ano ba i-withdraw
hindi
yung
lang
mga pangalan na yan?
Hindi lang lumabas na. They withdrew
Hindi ko
it
natatawa.
a few minutes after they gave it to us. Or at least a few minutes after nakuha ng reporter namin. Tapos, sinabi sa amin na, no, you can't use that kasi hindi pa siya official draft of the committee report.
Kaya nga, ano ba naman?
Malay mo, mabawasan.
Kakamali ka ba sa mga pangalan niya?
Mabawasan pa yung names.
Mas malala pa yun dun sa formally report ni Richard Gordon. Ha? Mas malala pa nangyayari dyan. Ano ba yan?
Merimon, hold on. I have to toss to a gap first, but we'll come back to you after this. Thank you so much, mobile journalist Merimon Reyes, reporting live from the Senate. You are watching StoryCon on One News. We just need to take a very quick break. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.
We've got developing news and the stories behind the headlines. Welcome back to StoryCon, the Story Conference. I'm Ed Lingao.
And I'm Regina Lay, still with us. Ami Pamintun of the Philippine Star and Ronald Llamas, our resident political pundit. So let's get right into it and bring in our guest this afternoon. We're talking to Senior House Deputy Leader, Congressman Egay Erice. Good afternoon, Congressman.
Good afternoon, Kong.
Hi, good afternoon. Good
Hi.
afternoon, Regina, Ed,
Afternoon
and and my favorite Ronald
Congressman.
Llama.
Bakit siya yung favorite?
Actually, hindi ko alam kung positive yung pagkakasabi o negative.
Parang may hint.
Hindi,
Parang may hint of sarcasm.
Yan.
Sarcastic yata tayo, sarcastic.
hindi. Paborito ko talaga yan.
Ganun ba?
Favorite ka talaga.
Paborito niyang kadebate.
Oh, sir, I guess you might as well say it's dead in the water na as far as yung impeachment against against BBM is concerned. And also, in effect, the one-year bar starts today.
Pero Kong, were
Yes,
you
yes.
expecting otherwise na iba yung resulta?
No. No, kasi it's a number game. Pero akala ko,
Yeah.
numbers game yan. Pero ang akala ko makakalusot sa substance kasi doon sa aming rules, talaga namang may substance. Hindi pa naman dapat i-appreciate yung evidence. So, tingin ko, nagkamali yung committee pagdating doon sa determination of substance. Dahil definite naman yung rules pagdating sa determination of substance.
Ano yung argument ng majority against the sufficiency in substance? Ano yung main argument nila during the deliberations?
Hindi ko maunawaan kasi ang lagi nilang ginigi, walang personal knowledge, lahat naman yun, walang personal knowledge. Pagka gano'n ang giniit nila, lahat ng mga impeachment, karamihan naman dyan, walang personal knowledge. Tapos sabi nila, yung walang ebidensya, wala pa nga doon sa ebidensya. Kailangan maipakita muna na yung mga allegations, prima facie lang naman dapat yung determination. Mga allegations will lead to certain violations of provisions of Constitution within the within the yung mga reason for impeachment. Like para sa akin kasi maliwanag yung betrayal of public trust. Hello.
Pero Congressman, alam naman natin, kahit pumasa yan sa sufficiency in substance, it's still a numbers game. It's a political process. At lahat naman talaga, halos lahat umaasa na walang mangyayari. At least yung impeachment kay Presidente, hindi ba?
Pero mahalaga din bigyan ng pagkakataon ni Pangulo para masagot niya yung mga allegations. Kasi hindi naman to pag-uusig lang, kundi due process. Hindi naman ito ay hindi lang para sa nagrereklamo, para din sa Pangulo. Kasi magiging laging issue sa kanya itong mga bagay na ito na hindi niya sinasagot. Diba? Kung sinagot niya dito sa proseso, kung nasagot niya ng maayos, wala nang problema. At siyempre, pinaka-importante rito na liwanagan ng mga Pilipino dahil karapatan naman ilang malaman kung sila ay pinabayaan o pinagnakawan.
I mean,
So ano na susunod ngayon? You can now focus on the impeachment naman ni Vice President. No? Ano naman yung susunod na aasahan namin doon?
Tapos, magkaroon ng committee report. After that,
Yes.
dadalhin nila sa plenary. Kung hindi makakuha ng 1/3, kung hindi makakuha ng 1/3, saka lang mamamatay yung impeachment.
So it's not yet it's not yet dead pala.
Kaya ano
It
pa
will
rin?
still be up for a vote.
Numbers game.
Naghihingalo.
I thought kasi...
Pero, understandably, siyempre, alam mo, sa tingin ko, pagka naman nadala sa plenaryo, siyempre, numbers game na yan. At wala naman gagawa kundi sundin kung ano yung decision.
this is for the VP,
Yeah, VP
Yung
yan.
kay VP,
Okay,
wala
sinasabi ko
pa
kay Ed.
naman.
Sinasabi ko
kami,
kay Ed.
hindi pa na.
This is not for the President.
Okay.
Oo. Pero I was gonna say, Congressman Luis, I mean, as early as last week, you already felt that it wasn't gonna progress, di ba? Yung impeachment against the President. You already felt the numbers weren't there.
Yeah.
Yeah, alam ko naman na walang numbers. Kaya lang, akala ko, dahil sa rules namin, maliwanag naman yung parameters in the appreciation of sufficiency in substance. Kaya lang, hindi na nila binigyan pagkakataon na magsumite ng mga sort of statements, yung complainants, magharap ng mga ebidensya, patunayan yung mga aligasyon nila. So yun yung walang... Actually, pwede nga, sa tingin ko, ano pa rin to may grave abuse of discretion pa rin. Pwede pa rin nga question ito sa Korte Suprema. Di ba? Yung decision na mo, palagay ko para matapos na lang yung dalaw. Bayaan na natin.
Anong fearless forecast mo, Kong, sa Justice Committee tungkol doon sa impeachment ni Vice President Sara? Tingin mo ay katulad doon kay PBBM, matay sa Justice Committee, or tingin mo papasa? Fearless forecast lang.
Ang tingin ko, mga pag-uusapan na matagal. Palagay ko, bibigyan nila i-declare nila na may sufficiency in form and substance. So, pag natin yung substance, makikinig. Yung mga allegations, kung tapos ebidensya, tapos tatagal. So, parang magta-trial dito si Vice President Sara, ilabas yung mga allegations, ilalabas yung mga paratak sa kanya.
So
Pero
tingin
hindi ko
mo,
alam.
tingin mo Kong ay papasa sa Justice
Sa tingin ko,
Committee?
baka hindi. Hindi, sa Justice Committee baka pumasa. Pero pagdating sa plenary, baka hindi na makakuha ng
106?
1/3. Oo. Tingin ko gagawin ko para pakinak si Vice President Sara at pagka depende siguro kung talagang humina, baka alusot para makapag-trial sa Senado. Kasi tingin ko, tinitingnan din ng mga politiko, tinitingnan namin, papasa ba ito sa Senado? Kasi kung hindi papasa, sa 2028 election, may epekto ito bawat tatakbong kongresista.
Baka may makipagpustahan sa'yo dyan.
Na,
Kung papasa sa
hindi, ako hindi
plenary.
naman ako nakikipagpustahan. Hindi naman ako nakikipagpustahan.
Pero,
At sabi ko
Congressman,
nga,
kung malakas ang ebidensya,
Depende yan sa resulta depende yan sa resulta nung hearing. Nung hearing sa Justice Committee, kung magkaroon ng mga matitibay na ebidensya, posible.
Sigurado ka ba, Kong, na depende yan dun sa ebidensya at saka sa discussion sa Justice Committee? Or depende yan sa political decisions ng mga congressmen?
Hindi. Kasi siyempre, tingin ko nga patatagalin eh. Hindi natin alam kung saan mapupunta yung public opinion eh. After 2 months, halimbawa, 1 month, 2 months, hindi natin alam kung saan pupunta yung public opinion. At yung public opinion will determine yung magiging mga desisyon ng mga kinatawan. Palagay.
Why does public opinion, Kong,
Sa public opinion,
why does public opinion matter here? I mean, you just have to, number one, judge it based on the
merits.
the substance of it, and then pagdating sa trial, then judge it based on the evidence at hand, right? Why does public opinion play a part in this?
Yun nga yung tanong ko eh.
yes.
Political calculation.
Siyempre, may
mga politiko yan eh. They are politicians.
Siyempre.
So you're saying,
Basta ako
Congressman,
naman,
kung matindi kung matindi yung ebidensya, pwede.
Pwede.
Or it can go both ways, sir. Kasi, for example, if VP Sara Duterte's numbers are really high by the time they take it to a vote, is that what you mean? It also depends on the public opinion? That would sway.
Well, kasi kung malakas yung ebidensya, I think yung public go against VP Sara.
Pero kung malaking bahagi ng articles of impeachment laban kay Vice President Sara are basically the same articles of impeachment last year. At karamihan sa mga congressman ngayon are the same congressmen last year.
Yeah, 250
So,
votes last year.
mahirap naman mag-invoke sila ng evidence dahil ito na yung evidence last time eh.
Baka nagka-epiphany.
Although to be fair, hindi pa natin nakikita.
Pero alam mo, yan ang decision nila. Kasi during the decision sa committee, may mga sinabi na mga to justify the lack of substance, di ba? Yung insufficiency in substance. So may sinabi sila. So dapat hindi sila maging double standard. Kung ano yung standard nila kay Presidente, dapat din yung maging standard nila kay Vice President.
Pero sabi nyo rin, Kong, kasi, sabi nyo rin in your previous interviews, na incentivize yung mga congressmen last year para bumoto ng yes sa impeachment. Ngayon ba, tingin mo ay may pang-incentivize?
Hindi bukod dun sa incentive. Noon kasi malayo pa yung presidential election. Malayo pa. Posta kita naman natin na talagang election ay nabigyan ng malalaking alokasyon mga congressman, nabigyan ng maraming ayuda at hindi pa nila iniisip 2020. Pero ngayon, iniisip na yan. Yun ang kaibahan.
Pero hindi ba mas importante, Congressman, na kung meron kang opisyal na headed for the presidency, na mas importante nga ngayon na maipakita sa mga tao yung fitness for the presidency. Di ba?
Pero mas
Di ba
mahalaga
naiisip din yun?
mas mahalaga na dapat nga nasuri mismong namumuno.
Kaya
Kasi halos tatlong taong pa siya ng bayan.
Oo nga. Kaya nga.
So, Kong, ang
Kaya kung talagang
pinakamahalaga,
unfit, merong ebidensya ng unfitness.
What's good for di ba? Dapat parehas lang. Dapat tinignan din mabuti
pero
sa
Kong,
Pangulo at tinignan din mabuti sa pangalawang Pangulo.
pero Kong, ang sinasabi nyo, ang pinakamahalaga rito is not the evidence. It's about the political calculation of the congressmen kung nasaan ang kanilang political future.
Hindi. Importante rin yung ebidensya. Kasi yung political calculations, magdidepende rin kung paano haharapin ni Vice President Sara yung mga accusations sa kanya. Sabi ko nga, kung mapapatunayan, malakas na ebidensya, sa tingin ko, babaliktad yung public opinion. Yan yun.
Pero
At pag bumaliktad ng public opinion, di syempre pa rin yung opinion ng mga...
pero kung yung pagharap sa ebidensya sa Senado pa yun eh. Hindi pa yun sa impeachment eh.
Palagay ko, ang gagawin dito ay
Yun yung rules, meron na eh.
i-determine yung
Oo.
yung pagkatapos na determine yung sufficiency ng substance ay mga pagdinig para patunayan.
Pero kung parang preliminary investigation para bang po itong impeachment sa
Yes.
Kongreso basically the full-blown trial
Yun ang
only
gagawin.
occurs in
At
the
yun ang
Senate.
gagawin. Palagay ko, yun ang gagawin dito. Magkakaroon matagal na trial dito. Mas matagal. Siguro magpapatawag ba ng mga witnesses. Pagkatapos, saka palang magdidepende ngayon kung dadalhin pa sa Senado o hindi.
How does the Supreme Court's decision last week change the calculation as well? And in terms of, especially in terms of how the House will approach the
Yeah.
possible impeachment?
Siyempre, may rules naman kami. Diba? May sarili kaming rules and we can amend our rules provided that it will adhere to the provisions of the Constitution. Kung magkaroon kami ng rule na talagang gusto pa ng mas mahabang hearing para ma-determine, palagay ko wala namang.
Ano na yung stage ng rules na yan? Meron na bang nagda-draft?
Pardon?
Meron na ba kayong indication kung ano yung magiging changes sa rules?
Wala pa. Hindi na hanggang ngayon.
But you're
Pero
gonna
yan
be
na nga,
running out
parang
of time, ha?
magpe-preliminary, na sila. Parang may pre-trial na sila. Yan ang isang pagbabago.
Oo, parang pre-trial, parang ganon. Pero dito kasi kay na-dismiss na on the basis of insufficiency of substance. So hindi na pa sa pagdinig.
Pero Congressman, yung ibang mga ebidensyang pinipresenta dyan, actually are based on your own congressional investigation kay Vice President Sara noong 2024. Madali bang talikuran
Siguro,
yan ng mga congressman?
Siguro, palagay ko, ulitin nila yon, i-rehearse nila yon. Palagay ko, yun din yun. Ngayon, siguro, ang kaibahan, may pagkakataon na kapag sumagot si Vice President Sara.
So ang fearless forecast nyo kung ay papasa sa Justice Committee pero hindi papasa
Yes.
sa plenary.
Depende nga sa presentation.
Hirapan sa plenary. Okay. Okay, we'll leave that there for now. Thank you so much for talking to us again. That was House Senior Deputy Minority Leader, Congressman Egay Arice.
Salamat, Kong.
Thank you, Congressman.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Let's go back to the upper chamber. There's a bit of a breaking news now.
Again.
Kasi nga, it's a developing story. Si Senator Kiko Pangilinan just posted this photo on Facebook with the title,
Nakangiti silang lahat.
#PowerSharing. I don't know what that means, but you can connect the dots. In case hindi nyo makita who's at the background, that's JV Ejercito, Win Gatchalian, Risa Ontiveros, Bam Aquino, of course, Kiko Pangilinan, and to the other side, that's Lauren De Garda, Tito Soto, Ping Lacson, and Mig Zubiri.
Nandiyan si Pia
So-
Cayeta, no?
I don't see the Tulfos too.
Wala.
Pia, wala.
Wala.
Wala
The two billiards.
wala yung siblings.
So you have 9
Wala.
people here.
9 people. Yeah, so the only caption for this that Senator Pangilinan posted is #PowerSharing, the dalawang Philippine flags. There's no indication as well of when or what time this was taken, but all we know is that he posted that just 15 minutes ago now.
So assuming that they're all on the same side, may 15 senador na wala sa litratong yan.
Ibig sabihin, kulang
Yung majority.
Ibig sabihin, kulang yan ng 4 to be a majority. For now, Pero it doesn't mean anything.
I know. I'm
Picture
just
lang
saying
siya,
that.
eh, no?
Tsaka it can be, siyempre pang selfie, so ngingiti lahat. Kahit
Oo,
nagkaway
tsaka baka
sila.
may nag-CR.
O may nagbayad ng bill.
Hindi ba nasa...
Hindi
ba
kumukuha ng picture.
Excuse
Hindi pala
me.
si Kiko yung nagsiselfie.
Walang bayad build here. Hindi ba nasa
Senado
office?
ba to?
Oo, hindi ba sa Senado to? In which case they don't...
O malay mo, hindi si Kiko nagsiselfie. Malay mo, may kumukuha ng picture.
So 10. 10 na. So 3 na. So,
We're looking at
Saka bakit ang
possibilities.
caption power sharing? Bakit yung hashtag power
That's what's
sharing?
interesting. So, could he be alluding to a potential power sharing agreement between Tito Soto and Loren Legarda? We don't know at this point.
dati na silang may power sharing. So,
Dati na ba?
magkasama sila sa
Pero
majority.
baka nag-formalize na.
Kasi in the past, you've had arrangements between two potential Senate presidents. Di ba?
Masang,
si Drilon at one point and si...
Mas ang significant dyan ay the Blue Ribbon Report. Yun yung mas significant. What will happen to the Blue Ribbon Report?
Kaya nga. Mas mahirap naman kung tatalikuran yung mga lahat ng nalaman natin during the Blue Ribbon investigation. Di ba?
Rumors lang nga,
May kulang
Ani,
pa nga dun eh. May mga kulang pang pangalan dun eh.
Oo nga.
Oh.
Wala pa si Grace po, wala pa si
Nababanatan nga
Nancy
si Ping
Binay.
Lacson dahil bakit yung ibang malalaki wala dyan.
And the problem is because na-leak na yung draft of the report,
Oh.
malalaman natin if may matanggal.
Rumors nga yun na
Kaya
leak
nga,
eh.
If there are names that suddenly disappear from that report, right?
Kaya nga.
Do you think it matters in the Philippines?
Kaya
should-
dapat
it should
ipasok na
matter.
lang na idiretso niya dun sa ombudsman eh. Habang siya pa yung chairman ng committee. Para meron siyang chairman's report.
If ever man magkaroon ng Senate leadership change once again, I just want to point out that if it does become Senator Loren Legarda, she would then be not only the first female Senate president, but also the 5th under President Marcos.
Pero
Oo nga.
napakapangit ng itsura niya, na. Sa media, sa publiko,
Over
parang
the Blue
nagkaroon
Ribbon.
ng leadership change
Because of the committee
because
report.
of a committee report ng Blue Ribbon
Yeah.
implicating their members to corruption.
Senators.
No?
Oh, paano yan? All boys club, you're protecting your own.
Yes. Ang pangit
Ano
ng itsura
nangyari
ng
dun sa
Senado
mga
niya.
commitment nila for accountability?
At hindi naman...
si Abby na yun.
At hindi,
Taga-Pilipinsar po yun, ha?
Lahat sila yun ang
The award
sinasabi. di ba?
for Cueva. Today, hindi sa akin mapupunta. Kay Ami. Strike 2 na siya.
Di ba? Lahat sila yun ang sinasabi. We're all committed to ganyan.
That's true.
It's all rhetoric.
But the Senate, of course, has a history of protecting their members, right?
Yeah.
All chambers naman.
All chambers.
And at least naman,
Especially nga Congress.
they will be spared by the ombudsman kung sakasakali. Ano?
pero dahil mas malaki ang
Nakuha na rin
Congress,
ng ombudsman yung mga pinagsasabi dyan sa Senado eh. Pag nagkaiba yung finding nila at saka finding ni Boying Remulla, anong mangyayari? They have a national constituency, they have to remember that. Hindi ka pareho ng mga congressman, pwede nang sabihin, kasi kasuhin lang namin yung constituency namin na local, okay na kami. Pero eto, they have a national constituency.
Correct.
and a lot of them are running for re-election sa 2028.
Yes.
Well, that's why...
Kaya nga, iisipin mo rin yan.
Pero sabi ni Robin Hood Padilla, at least yung asawa niya, hindi na daw siya tatakbo eh. Because we don't deserve him.
Yung kaibigan mo. One of your friends, sorry.
Hindi ako may sabi nun, si Mariel. No?
One of your friends.
We don't deserve him.
Oh, don't snort again. You're snorting again.
Dahil nag-snort. Hindi na ako mag-comment. But there is another piece of breaking news before this photo of Senator Pangilinan. The Supreme Court, it's a Supreme Court decision basically dismissed the petition filed by Jacinto Paraz, Ferdinand Topacio et al., questioning the constitutionality of Executive Order number 94, which
Creating
created...
the ICI.
Correct, which created the Independent Commission for Infrastructure, or the ICI. This resolution was written by Associate Justice Samuel Gerlan.
Parang semi-moot and academic. Semi-moot and
Moot
academic.
and endemic.
Kung kailan magpo-fold.
Naghihingalo na yung ICI. Saka
Hindi,
hinabol.
may palusot naman ng Malacanang. Sabi nila, bahala na kayo sa buhay nyo, no? In effect, sinabi yun daw. Kung gusto daw ng ICI, they will
hindi naman-
abide by whatever the ICI want.
Pwede pa ba
Kung gusto daw
mag-volunteer doon?
magpatuloy, susuportahan nila.
Ami, pwede ba
Kapag gusto nang
mag-volunteer doon?
magsara,
Gusto ko sana
Di ba?
mag-volunteer sa ICI eh. Pero pwede ba? Ikalawa, tatanggapin ba ako?
Pwede pa. Maybe you can revive it.
Pero tingin mo tatanggapin ako?
Oo naman.
Salamat.
bahala daw
Anong
ICI
skills?
decision.
Heckler.
What skills do you bring?
Heckling.
Marunong ka ng forensic accounting.
Of course.
Heckling.
Mga asar siya.
Oh.
Heckling.
Investigation. Ha?
Heckling yung ano niya.
Heckling yung
Eh, bahala daw ICI eh. We're waiting for word from ICI kung anong balak nilang gawin sa buhay nila.
I think they're
Kasi
also...
sinabi ng Malacanang.
I think they're also
It's up
waiting...
to ICI to decide their fate.
I think they're also waiting for a signal from Malacanang, and ito na nga, President Marcos has said, it's up to them. so I imagine...
Parang ano yun, no? It's up to you.
pero siya yung nag-create. He created it.
Oo, paano? Ikaw yung
Pero
nation
independent
CEO.
ka eh.
And he promised... Oo nga.
Independent ka. Ano ibig sabihin ng independent? Wala akong pakialam.
So, pwedeng chill-chill na lang sila. It's up to you eh.
Except
Pero-
yung funding lang.
Pero
Funding.
puro absent yata. Absent lang yun.
The life cycle of this ICI is very interesting. No? At the very start, parang there's so much energy, so much hope for it.
Pero
Kasi
sa
sabi-
simula pa lang, natanggal na si Magalong.
Hindi, at the very, very start, ito yung pinangako niya, which is an independent commission that will investigate this and hold those accountable. Diba? Tapos slowly, it was like a
Baka for them, it has served its purpose.
It's like a
Which is
death by a
basic-
thousand cuts. Yung slowly, you weaken the institution. You don't give it the support that it needs to flourish. They run into all sorts of problems. Walang hindi makapagsapina, hindi makapag
Baka tingin nila may...
cite in contempt.
ang tingin nila yung outrage about this massive corruption ay
Is
may expiry,
dying down.
expiry date.
Oo.
No?
That's
At,
true. That's also true.
At nag-expire na, kaya pwede
We
na.
can let it go.
Saka ano
Pati
eh,
yung
pumasok nga
ICIAC,
yung
which
bagong
is a priority
ombudsman.
bill of the President. Yung ICIAC, hindi gumagalaw
Hindi
yung
man lang
baso.
certified urgent no? We
Pero
just have priority bill.
Hindi gumagalaw.
Yeah.
Eh, sino ba magpapasa kasi ng bill?
Well, if the president certifies it urgent, then
ICIAC.
Hindi naman certified eh.
hindi nga certified.
Sinabi lang niya.
That's why.
Sinabi lang niya, it's a priority.
Yeah, that's why. So,
It was just persuading.
Pero kahit alam mo, kahit hindi siya certified, pwede siyang umandar eh. Dahil priority bill pa rin
Kaya
siya.
nga,
Oo.
sino nga yung magpapandar kayo naman? Sino ba yung mga, nasan ba yung mga, yung mga iniimbestigahan, nasan ba? Ayun na nga lang, nagkaroon ng Senate Blue Ribbon Committee ganyan, wala na eh. Bigla naman
And then-
kaka-leadership change sa Senado.
so
Ano?
naalala ko to. So at the start, again, there was so much, there were high hopes for the ICI that this would be the
Yeah.
institution that will hold those responsible to account. Tapos naging ombudsman. And now ombudsman is, and then naging Senate Blue Ribbon pala, and then naging ombudsman. But now the ombudsman is running into all sorts of challenges as well. Hindi nila makuha yung SALENS. And
And that's the House.
President Marcos's answer there is he doesn't want to, he's wary of executive overreach in terms of empowering the ombudsman to, although there is a law, right? That says
Yeah.
the ombudsman has the power
Code
to
of
investigate. Oo. Pagka,
Wala siyang he's not the repository of the SALENS kasi ng Congress. Hindi siya.
but he should have the power to access them if there
If
is
there's a
probable
formal
cause.
investigation.
Oh, if there's
If
probable
there's a
cause.
formal investigation, he can. Subpoena.
Exactly.
Pero kung naghahanap ka pa lang ng sino ba kakasuhan ko dito, hindi siya basta-basta pwedeng manghingi. Although he can ask, of course. Susulat naman daw siya kay Bo GD. Let's see kung ano kalabasan ng sulat niya. Kasi si
susulat
Bo
si
GD has already released his SALEN.
Correct. Si Ombudsman Remulla is writing to Speaker Boji D to settle this issue. But again, we don't know where that's going to end up.
Uy, wala na raw tao sa plenary. Saan nagpuntahan itong mga to?
Eh, ko na yan.
Aling plenary.
Lahat sila kumakain ng...
We're gonna
Kaninong plenary?
Sa
flash
Senado.
you a picture of the Senate right now. It's empty. Media na lang na yata naiwan.
Baka lahat sila nagmimerienda ng turon.
Buti pa kanina, nagkaroon
Mga
ng
nagme-merienda.
Eucharistic celebration
Nandun sa
sa
merienda
Congress.
ni Kiko, yung may groupie sila. Yan, nandun yung kabila. Meron din sa kabila.
Buti pa kanina, Ami, nagkaroon ng Eucharistic celebration sa Congress.
Oh.
Nagdasal sila ron.
Lagi naman nagdadasal doon kapag
Si,
umpisa ng di ba?
Maybe we can take Merimon live as well. If nandun pa siya sa
Bishop
plenary.
Sinense ang nag-hold
okay.
ng mass. No? Tapos merong mga 10 na pare.
Are you saying they all
Is
went
that
to
a
hear
good
mass?
sign or a bad sign?
Hindi, marami. Pero hindi siya exorcism, Kwan siya.
Oo nga, yun ang tatanong ko sana, exorcism ba yan?
Eucharistic celebration. No?
So good yun good.
Kaya marami...
Tulong ba yun kung saan? Sino tinutulungan ba?
Ha? Siyempre, si Speaker
Tulong ba yun
Boy
for-
nandun.
We are also trying some of the senators to try to get them on the phone to speak to them about what's going on. But clearly,
Pustahan, wala mo.
Kung-
Sasalita.
wala pang 5:30, wala nang tao sa plenary hall. Something is up. And
Okay, we have Merimon.
but can we let's bring in our reporter again, Merimon. But I wonder if we could also get her on the camera so we could see the plenary hall empty.
Hello, good afternoon sa inyo. Sa ngayon, natili pa rin suspendido yung plenary session ngayon. At kanina, huli kasi natin nakita si Senator Robin Padilla, Senator Amy Marcos, Senator Alan Peter Cayetano, saka si Senator Camille Villar. Pero ngayon kasi, wala pang laman yung session hall. At pero ngayon, isa-isa na pala silang nagbabalikan. So nakita na natin dito ngayon, kapapasok ng Senator Bam Aquino, pati si Senator Kiko Pangilinan. So mukhang tapos na yung kanilang pag-uusap sa lounge sa likuran ng session hall. Bo.
Do we have any idea, Merimon, where they all went?
Dapat kasi kanina yung pag-suspend ng session dahil nagkaroon ng photo opportunity sila sa mga atleta at saka sa Philippine Sports Commission. Pero pagkatapos kasi nito na nakita natin na yung mga senador ay lumabas sila at nag-usap-usap pa sa lounge dito sa Senado. Pero yun nga, ang nakita natin, ang naiwan sa most of the time na nakita natin suspended yung session hall, na natili doon sa session floor sina Senator Alan. Pero later on, nakita natin, wala nang naman yung session floor at ngayon lang sila ulit nagbabalik-balikan. Wala pa nga lang tayo nakukuha ng impormasyon kung tungkol saan ba yung kanilang napag-usapan. Basta sa huli nating pag-titingin, dalawa kasi yung inaabangan natin sa pagbabalik ng session. Una, yung pagsalang ng Senate Resolution number 256, yung kumukondena sa pambabatikos sa Chinese Embassy. O kaya naman, baka naman tungkol ito sa sinaturang nilulutong kudeta na layong palitan ng liderato ni Senate President Tito Soto.
Join us again tomorrow at 4 p.m. for StoryCon. I'm Regina Lay.
I'm Ed Ligao, kapatid. We are One News, all sides, all the time.
This is the Story Conference Group or the StoryCon Group.